Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this episode we're going to do a super long exposure. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramelli. I am a French photographer living in the beautiful, the incroyable city of Paris, France, and also the sunny city of Los Angeles, California. But I'm in Venice with my friend Alex. Alex, who is an amazing professional photographer from Venice and does really incredible, very long exposure. I have done in the past very long exposure, but it's really his specialty, and his photos is really amazing. You can see some of his work here, and you gotta check out his website that's in the description of this YouTube video, because his work is really breathtaking. I love his work. And so he brought me to this place, which is called, what is this called here in Venice?
Well, this is called the Ponte della Dogana, which is back in the day, they used to tax all the boats that were crossing to the Grand Canal from here.
Okay, that's great. And we're gonna do a super long exposure. There was something very magic about his photo that he showed me, and it's only possible when you really do, like, what's your average long exposure?
Like 250, 300, 400 second.
Anywhere between 200 to 400 seconds. To be able to do 200 to 400 seconds, we need to have what we call the bulb mode on the camera and with a remote. Otherwise, it's not possible. Okay, so what are we going to shoot today? What was your idea?
Well, we're going to shoot through these two docks toward the church over there.
But the key point of this composition is going to be to have like at least 200 seconds so that the water almost becomes like snow, right?
Yes, it's going to be completely flat, like ice or snow. So you're not going to see any movement on the water.
That's incredible, because I would have not thought about that. I would have done 30 seconds, but with 30 seconds, you don't really get that. So you told me also a couple of good tips. What's your f-stop usually?
Usually with this, like when you do landscape, usually the best for the lens, like to get most out of your lens, is to be on the f16.
F16, okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna go, so I'm in manual. I'm gonna go into the bulb mode.
Yes.
F16, okay. Now, I have an ND filter on. Now this one I'm using is from the brand BW, but you're using
the Haida filter.
Haida filters. And also you showed me a good trick. You have like a whole bunch of filters. What size do you have?
Well, usually the best, if you have like different type of lens, so better to buy the biggest number, like the largest diameter from your largest lens. Mm-hmm. Then you can buy it very cheap, like a converter online,
right,
for $2-3, and then you can just use your filter for all your lenses.
So what size do you have?
I have an 82.
Okay, 82.
Yes.
Okay, because this is a 67. This is a 2470, so 67, and this is an ND1000. ND1000, as you can see, is very black, and it's going to stop the light from coming.
Yeah.
So f16, bulb mode. Now, one of the key points for this composition is going to be pretty low, right?
Yes, because when we go low, then the dots here, they will be over the darker side on the back, so you will divide them.
Right.
From in your shot.
Yeah, this wood thing will stick out in the sky. If we are too high, they will be blending with the church that's behind us, and it's not going to be as nice. I'm actually going to show you the difference so you can see what I mean. So I'm going to take one shot really fast without the filter, just to show the composition.
Perfect.
And then we're going to use the filter, if you want to hold this.
Yep.
So I'm going to take one first photo where I'm standing up. Okay, so that's the photo you have standing up. And if I take the same photo being down, you can see that, yeah, they stick out more. Actually, the lower, the better. So, okay, so let's take the shot. I'm going to put the filter on. And one of the key tricks is to, when you focus, what do you usually focus on when you do your focus?
So let's say when you are in the wide area like this, but if you want to have everything in the focus, so what you need to do is like your focus point, it has to be manual, and then because usually what the people do the mistake, they focus on the subject right back over there. But the problem is then you're missing the foreground, the sharpness of the foreground.
Right.
So the best to do is to focus like 3 meter, 4 meter from your camera to the distance.
Okay, well that's only if you, like, because In this case, we don't have any really detail here.
So we don't need
but that's something he showed me. It's like, let's say that we'd have like, you know, floor or something. It's good to, at f16 to focus like 4 or 5 meters and everything else will be sharp. On this one, I already made some tests and I'm gonna focus at 17 meter about. All right, so now I'm ISO 100, f16. I'm gonna go into bulb mode and I'm gonna go down. So, one very important thing is to use a remote. This is like a $10 remote, but in bulb mode it's very important because you press one time, it starts the photo, then you press another time and it stops the photo. So I know there is apps out there which calculate the time, but how do you calculate the time?
Well, usually like, because when you do it more and more and more, so you will guessing it. You can guess the time.
Okay.
So with this weather, usually we will go like 100 and 150.
Okay.
With this ND we have on, and now we will see if everything is all right, then we're good.
Okay.
If not, we'll go or higher or lower.
I'm going to use the timer on my iPhone for 150 seconds, and we're going to take a shot and see what it is. I focused on the wood thing you see in the foreground at f16, ISO 100, and we see what's going to happen now. So I'm going to put the timer on. Okay, and so now it's going to shoot for 150 seconds. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's very overcast, so that's also how I do it. Usually when I do very long, I do like 100 seconds. If it's too dark, I do another 100. I do like 200 seconds. You don't usually add like 10 seconds. You add like 50 seconds or 100 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And
better to do it that way.
yeah, and all the boats which are passing behind us is going to erase. And that's one of the amazing thing about it. So let's see what's going to happen at 150 seconds. All right, I find it actually pretty perfect, but to show you the difference, I'm not going to do one at 60 seconds of exposure. So here we go, 60 seconds of exposure. So again, I put the timer on for 60 seconds, just so that you see the difference. Honestly, we nailed it. We nailed it completely. It was, the first time was perfect. But I was hoping for a mistake and to make it brighter or darker, but we nailed it. So now I'm gonna make a mistake afterwards. This is a very organic process. You look at the photo and you have a feeling or you don't have a feeling, you know? And right now we are going for what we call a high key landscape. That's what we're doing.
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
So a high key landscape is not something you can calculate with an app. It's something you have to look, and is the photo bright enough for the effect you want to create? So we are going for, now I'm going to stop it in 10 seconds and we'll see with 1 minute it's probably going to be too dark. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's I prefer this one. I think with this one we'll get a better result. All right, so that's basically it. Now I'm going to show you how I retouch this in Lightroom and Photoshop to really give this high key look. Now that we have this amazing raw file. Thank you so much, Alex.
Oh, thank you.
And really
Pleasure.
check his work on the description of this video. You will see it's amazing. It's really inspired me a lot and helped me a lot to do my book on Venice. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to go into Lightroom and retouch this work of art that we did. All right, so I'm in Lightroom and I'm ready to retouch this photo. So this is the 150-second exposure. It's actually 149 at f16. Very bright, but that's what we wanted. We wanted a high key. A high key is when most of your photo is very white. And this is the 60-second exposure, 65-second, much darker. I'm really going to go for the very white one. I think this is another exposure I did at 4 seconds. You see how dark it is because of the ND filter. So let's take the one that's 149. I'm going to press I to take out this. I'm going to make some room in Lightroom so that you can see better what I'm doing. And c'est parti mon kiki, as we say in France. So I'm going to bring down a bit the highlights. The first thing I'm going to do is take out the saturation. You see already I'm almost there. So all I need to do is maybe do a bit of blacks, and I'm gonna hold on the Alt key, see how much black I got. I want some blacks in this. Then I'm gonna do my white point, you know, and push it until I see some white coming up. Okay, and back it down, back it down, back it down. It's a bit too much. Voila. And now I think I'm gonna add some clarity on this one, just a little bit. And you see, I wanna make the bottom of the photo even more white. So the best thing to do that is you take a brush, make sure the brush has a flow and density around 70, 80, it's always better. And I'm gonna boost the exposure, and I'm going to paint the bottom of the photo around the little dots here. And I'm just gonna make this a little bit more whiter because it's already very white, but that's the whole idea, is to make this photo pop a little bit more. Voila. So one thing you can do is, if you want to make sure that you did go everywhere, you can click on Show Selected Mask Overlay. You can see where you painted. Oh, I can see I missed here a little bit. And so that we have maybe just a little bit here, a little bit here, a bit here, so that the bottom part is really white. But you'll see there's hardly any retouching because most of it was done in camera, which I always love to do. I always love to do things in camera. Okay, and then one thing you can do now that you brushed everywhere, you can just boost a little bit the brush. I really want to make this very white. Something like this. Yeah, I'm happy, and I'm going to make even more contrast with the blacks. I'm going to hold on the Alt key and put my blacks even more. Maybe open up a little bit the shadow and bring down the blacks even more. Yeah. And also, maybe let's recrop this so that we see more of this. The rule of third. 1/3 here, 2/3 of sky, 1/3 of bottom, and boom. Voila the photo. Oh, let's see if we have any sensor dust, because that can happen, especially with this long exposure. So you take this tool. The best is to click on Visualize Spots. I got a spot here, 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 and here. And voila, take off visual spots, and it's finito, it's done. Voila, I really love this kind of photo. It's kind of, it's Photoshop, but in camera, which is something I really like. I just came out with a photography business course, and that I wanted to share with you. If you ever wanted to expand your photography business, be able to live off your photography business, or just, get your work out there in the world, this course might help you. Here's a little presentation. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. I'm very happy to announce that I have a new course coming out called the Photography Business Masterclass. I have been a pretty successful photographer financially for the last 10 years as real estate, hotels and restaurants and fine art photographer. And I want to share with you with this course all the things that have worked over the years for me to make it into a financial success. Financial success is very important if you want to be able to provide for your family and be able to live off your passion. So here are some details of my Photography Business Masterclass course. This course contains 19 chapters. The first thing is chapter number 1. Are you ready? What it takes to start being a pro photographer. I'm going to explain what I think is the minimum requirement for you to start to make a living out of being a professional photographer, including a gear list and a gear guide to have the minimum professional requirement without spending too much money to get started. Chapter number 2, find your niche. Hotels, restaurants, real estate, wedding, pack shot. We go over this. Next, what is the minimum requirement to start? Have a logo, a website, Facebook page, and Instagram page. Now, to have a logo, I worked with a designer to provide you with a whole bunch of logos pre-made that you can just put your name in and you got a professional logo in no time. That's a pretty cool gift. That's part of the assets of this course. There's a lot of assets in this course. The next chapter, chapter number 4, how much should you charge? Now on this one, I had the idea to make 3 price lists. One for beginner, one for experience, and one for pro, which you can put your logo on. This is my suggestion of prices, so you have an idea how much you can charge a photo. And when somebody made an inquiry, you can just send this as a PDF. It's going to help you make sales because it's going to make you super professional. How to get the first customers. On this one, I'm going to show you a selling simulation that I did with my business partner, Calvin Pimon, where I show you how to get your first jobs, how to sell your first photos, talking to a hotel manager. And I think it's going to give you an idea what kind of sales speech has been working for me, and maybe you can replicate in your work and get your first customers. What is the best way to deliver photos to your customer? We go into this. That's pretty important to be and to look very professional. Next, video 7. How do you invoice and collect money? We will actually provide you with template of invoice you can use for your business as Excel file and show you other solutions that's out there. Next, the right way to use social media. This is just a general conference of the difference of social media and what I have seen has been successful for me over the years. The importance of name dropping, video 9. Video 10, how do you use YouTube to make yourself known? I'm a big YouTuber. This is really what I love to do. So I'm going to go into details what the tools you can use as a photographer to boost your business with YouTube. Next, Instagram. Instagram is a photographic social media. I go a lot into details on Instagram because I've been spending a lot of time recently on trying to expand my Instagram, and I give you all the stuff that I found with some pretty cool tools to really get your Instagram growing faster and faster. How to use Facebook to boost your business. Very important. Facebook is a really important social media, and there are things you can do to really boost your business as a Facebook user. Why should you have two websites? Video 13. Video 14, the importance of 500px and how to get best result. 500px is one of the leader of professional photographer in the world, and how to use it is very important. What about Google Plus and Flickr? That is video 15. Then, the importance of building a mailing list and how to use it. I will show you how you can work with MailChimp to build a customer list, a prospect list, which you can use later on to write newsletters to, because newsletters are very important so you can keep in communication with your customers and with your prospects. Next, what are my thoughts on stock photography and the reality of the market? And last, the importance of working on personal projects. I have tried to give you all the successful actions I've had over the last 10 years, and it took me a lot at the age of 35 to go from being a salesman of website to be a professional photographer and to make a good living out of it. I have shot hundreds of properties, and I've had a very successful life as an interior design photographer, also as a fine art artist today, and I really want to share all the things that have worked for me, hoping that it's going to help you to get your photography business expanding so you can get paid for doing what you love. There is nothing like working as your job on your passion, and this is what I really hope for you, and I hope this will help you achieve that.